Remember when Squidward never had a Krabby Patty before? And everybody was like, hey, Squidward, if you never had a Krabby... No, people who don't like Krabby Patties have never tasted one before. And poor fucking Squidward just doesn't want to be involved. And everybody's on his fucking ass. Poor man, I know, he can't catch a break. So yeah, he decides, no, I don't want a Krabby Patty. That's basically me with Dragon Ball. Everybody's like, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. It's like, Dan, have you watched Dragon Ball? By the way, my real name's Dan. Dan, have you watched Dragon Ball? Hey, SpiralShift, have you ever watched Dragon Ball? Hey, Dan, I think Dragon Ball may be up your alley. Hey, Dan, you know Trunks is such a cool character? Oh, wait, Dan, you ever watched Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. How many Okay, enough of my nonsense. Let's just get on to the video now. Before I do start the video topic at hand, I would recommend for you dudes to subscribe. I really want to grow this channel. I want it to prosper. I have a lot of cool topics I want to talk about in the future, a lot of interesting projects I want to pursue on this YouTube channel. If you're all interested in that, subscribe and join us for this very long ride. Nevertheless, back to the video. And yeah, like I said, your eyes and ears are not deceiving you. I've never watched Dragon Ball in my entire life. I've been shown clips on the off chance before, but I don't think that really counts. I've never actually sat down and took the time to watch and analyze the series. I frankly don't even know much about Dragon Ball in general. Yeah, I know that Goku's the main character. I mean, who doesn't really know that though? He has a friend named Krillin, and their teacher is some pervert named Master Roshi. I know a few other handful of characters, Mr. Satan, Bluma, Android 18, Android 17, Piccolo. While I know these character names, I really don't know what type of personalities are attached to them. Nevertheless, with what little I do know about the show, what do I expect at the end of the day, right? What do I feel beforehand, if that makes any sense? And I don't want to sound negative. I always try to go into a new show with a lot of positivity. I always try to keep an unbiased mentality, but I'm just gonna say this out right now. I feel like the plot, or at least the characters, are going to be somewhat one-dimensional. I don't want to say that. I want to give the show all the benefit of the doubt, right? But I just have this gut feeling that, like, pretty much the plot is going to be like, okay, I don't like this guy, let's go beat him up, done deal. Like, I feel like most of the characters are just going to fight, if that makes sense. And you know what? Maybe that's not a bad thing, right? Maybe I'm just throwing it into a negative light, but simple can be good. I think a lot of video game series, animes, television shows in general, I think simple could really be beneficial. I mean, look at Kirby. Simple game, but it's a lot of fun, you know? Maybe the show's going to have this really nice, memorable, nostalgic charm to it. You know, some things don't need to be overly complicated to be entertaining. Aside from that, I do want to touch up upon a few things that I think are pretty noteworthy. One, I'm going to watch the dub, or I most likely will. From what I've asked around, people say that the dub is actually pretty comparable, so I think I'm gonna give that a shot. If you guys think the sub is better, then please, throw all your suggestions in the comments. I really want to hear what the general consensus is, if that makes any sense. I usually don't really like dubs too much in the first place because I feel like the actors overreact or just overplay their roles, or I don't know. Also, I feel like with subs, it's just a lot more authentic. In Dragon Ball's case, I feel like maybe this is a special exception. Okay, another major thing I want to make clear. I'm going to start from the original. And I know there's people out there who are like, okay, you could start from Z. I've heard that a lot, actually, and it's been recommended to me. But I really don't care. I'm a patient man. I'd say I'm pretty patient. And I want to experience Dragon Ball for everything it is. The good and the bad. And I feel like while the original seems to be very different from the newer Dragon Ball, I feel like maybe it'll have its own unique charm. Also, let's put this on record, I'm not going to be watching Dragon Ball GT because I believe that's not even canon, but I will say one thing. I believe it's the ending credits of Dragon Ball GT, but that song is fucking fire. Holy crap. Yeah, it's that good. There are just some anime songs that can get you hooked on a show without even watching a second of it. For example, if someone came up to me asking, why should I give One Piece a shot? I'd say, go watch the 9th opening right
Now, Jungle P literally baited me into watching One Piece. In fact, it's so good I'm going to make an analysis video on it down the line, so stay tuned in for that. Either way, what Jungle P did to me is exactly what this GT opening has done as well. Before I do end this video, I want to answer one simple question. Why now? I mean, okay, when I was younger, I just didn't really know what anime was, and as I was growing up, I kind of thought it was cringy, and I didn't really like it. I thought it wasn't quote-unquote cool, if that makes any sense. I only really got into anime entirely later into my high school. I think when I was like 17, 18, so about a year, yeah, literally a year ago, I started watching anime. So why now, right? What made me click to give this a shot? A few reasons, right? One, I want to see what the hype's about. I mean, Dragon Ball is such an established franchise. It's a juggernaut. Everybody knows what it is. Even people who don't watch anime know what Dragon Ball is. I want to see what the big deal is. I'm just simply curious. In addition, Dragon Ball has some really awesome games from what I've been told. Like, I would love to give Fighter Z a shot. I think people like Xenoverse too. Is that a thing? Please tell me, because I know one specific friend who just loves to rage and throw his Xbox controller at the TV. So if a video game can emit that kind of emotion, it's gotta be pretty good. I'd love to give these games a shot, but I mean, come on guys, why would I buy a video game on a franchise that I have no idea about? You know, that just doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I'm kind of hyped to give it a shot now. You know, at first I was like, man, do I really want it? Because it's a big commitment, you know? I'm still watching One Piece as well, and I mean, I love the show, but God, that does take a lot of time. I'm like, do I really want to make this jump? Like, once I make this video and upload it, I gotta keep to my word. But as I'm recording this, finishing it up at 4:51 a.m. in the morning, I feel a good vibe. I'm very hyped to give this show a shot. For some reason, whenever I start a new series that dates back a long time ago, because don't quote me on this, I think the original Dragon Ball began in like the 1980s, don't quote me on that, but a lot of these older shows have a really nice old school art style, and I always love to see that. It's just very nostalgic and cool. Okay, so what's the deal with Dragon Ball content on this channel? What am I gonna do? So, I was slightly inspired by one other YouTuber who's doing a very similar thing on One Piece. What I'm going to do is, I'll watch a few arcs, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on each of them, and I'll sort of update you along my journey of watching this show. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, and it's going to be very interesting looking back at this initial video once I have a better idea of what Dragon Ball is. And to be honest, that's kind of why I made this video. It's sort of a little bit of a time capsule. So if you want to find out what a noob's perspective is on Dragon Ball and watching it for the first time, and the process and the journey, the thoughts and opinions, subscribe to the channel, because it's going to be an absolutely wild ride, and I'm so down to give this show a shot. It definitely was a long time coming, and I feel like I'm sort of in the minority in this, because like I said, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't watched Dragon Ball before. So it's going to be interesting, and I want to share my journey with everybody out there. So like I said, thank you so much for watching. I 100% appreciate it, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Goodbye.